In the world we live in today, there are constantly more and more distractions being created for... That sounds weird. In the world we live in today, there are constantly more and more distractions for people to partake in, especially high school students. So one questions whether all these distractions and these things that can occupy our time, if they really affect our academic performance. Whether it's distraction inside the classroom like cell phones or outside the classroom like a part-time job, do marks decrease because of that. Students have been working arguably since the beginning of education, so the studies comparing part-time jobs to academic performance are endless. One study done on a program that has mandatory part-time job shows that about 60% of students felt that they were affected by their part-time job. Now, these students were mainly students who worked up to 18 hours a week, while the students that weren't affected by the part-time job program worked closer to 12 hours a week. In 1997, the National Center for Education Statistics stated that 30% of U.S. students were working part-time. Another report found that some students benefit from having a part-time job because they learn easy time management skills. Cell phones have only been more recently introduced into the education process. So this means that less surveys have been done. A study done in 2010 stated that 75% of 12 to 17-year-olds owned a cell phone. Within these teenagers who own cell phones, 64% admitted to texting during class, while 25% admitted to taking a call during class. This survey included students who are in no cell phone allowed schools, which 58% of them admitted to receiving text still, and 19% of them admitted to receiving calls still. Laptops can also be an issue when it comes to distraction in classes. More and more classes in high school are recommending or even requiring laptops to participate in the class. Whether it goes from taking notes to even taking tests in class online, this becomes a problem. In one survey, students admitted on spending 17 out of the 75 minutes in a class period on things that were not taking notes. 81% admitted on checking email during class, 68% admitted on instant messaging during class, 43% admitted on surfing the web during class, and 25% admitted on playing games during class.
Based on our research, we came up with this thesis. According to our thesis, we suggest that students spend too much time using these technologies and activities available to them as a distraction, resulting in lower marks.
We gathered our own data by throwing up a survey online that discussed all these distractions. And here are our results.
Here are some statistics and graphs we were able to analyze from the survey that we had completed. In our survey, we had females and males completing the survey from grade 9s to 12. In the survey, we looked at different aspects such as part-time jobs, how old the students are, their grades from grade 9 to grade 12, their activities in school that are distractions, as well as what they do outside of school, including uses of technology, part-time jobs, and other distractions or club activities that they may be part of. As you watch the video, you'll be seeing more graphs that display the statistics and information we were able to gather. There is information regarding the amount of hours students spend in class with laptops, cell phones, or the amount of times they use their cell phone in class, along with statistics on what they do after school, as in hours they spend with homework and studying versus hours they spend on their cell phone, on the internet, surfing the net, or extracurriculars and part-time jobs. These statistics give us an idea of what students are doing both in school, outside of school, and how much education they're receiving throughout a whole day. In our conclusions, you'll hear a summary of the results, so please enjoy watching the different graphs. According to the graphs that we have displayed, we can see that students' marks have dropped as the years have progressed. While they started off being in the high 80s and 90s, the students dropped eventually to by grade 11 to low 70s all the way to mid 85s. Therefore, we can come to the conclusion by seeing the immensible amount of use of technology and distractions in their life that as the curriculum gets harder, with less focus, their marks are dropping. The fact that they're using so many distractions is affecting their marks in a negative way. Based on the observations we made, we came to the conclusion that students spend a lot of time using the internet, their cell phones, and their laptops as distractions more than making use of them. Habits that are being carried on at home are brought to school, or habits from school are being taken home as well. Students are spending immensible times in class texting or using their cell phone or on the internet, while students are spending less time studying, doing homework, or classwork. Based on our results, we realized that part-time jobs and extracurricular activities are not a huge major problem for students. Students can keep the amount of activity they're doing the same if they spend less time on other activities, such as their cell phone and their laptops. This needs to be regulated both at school and at home. If it is regulated at home or school, one or the other, this will be brought home to the other place. Next steps that can be taken by schools and teachers is by looking at ways to avoid using technology in a bad way. One of the ideas that we could suggest for teachers is creating a drop box where students drop out their cell phone at the start of class. No students need a cell phone during class. So by doing this, they will avoid the misuse of a cell phone in class. Another thing that could be done is limiting the internet. Blocking sites such as Facebook will make sure students do not use these sites. Other measures need to be taken in order to make sure that students are not affecting their marks by using these distractions as means to.
What even? Did you see that? I caught you on it. I'm doing things other than while I was looking at this. Why don't you want to stay on the shelf, huh? Huh, punk? Huh? Sorry, I know I'm crazy talking to my camera. 68% instant messaging, 43%, 81% lecture.